Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. It is August 11th. I am heading home from my day of work today. I did not take off my birthday from work because of the fact that the kids had to go to school today, and there's no point in me sitting home when they get home after the time that I get home from work. So it just would have been time wasted. But a lot of people were like at work today, like, why didn't you take your day off today? Why did you take yesterday off? Because yesterday I get to spend time with them. We went to the river and stuff like that. But tonight, Monday Night Raw. Honestly, one of my favorite editions of Raw of all time would have been like August 11th, probably around 2013. It was right before Cena and Brock. They celebrated Hulk Hogan's birthday. It also is his birthday today. And that's when Brock came down and he says, party's over, Grandpa. A lot of big stuff. They had a match with RVD and Seth Rollins where Dean Ambrose came out of one of Hulk Hogan's presents to beat up Seth Rollins. All in all, and I think even Swagger won a match, if I'm 100% right. But tonight's edition of Raw, I'm pretty sure I'm going to watch it unless I fall asleep during it. I know that we're going out to dinner. We're living it up. We're going to the Red Robin. That's one of my favorite places to go with the kids for dinner. We've always gone, and we've got all you can drink root beer floats, and that's like the highlight of the night when we go there. So when it's Dad's Choice, that's one of my favorite places to go. Tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, there's not a ton. I guess CM Punk is going to be the opening act. He's going to come out and talk about what happened to him at SummerSlam, why the fact he didn't get to talk last week. I'm not sure why he came out and attacked Seth Rollins at the end of Raw. Not quite sure about that as well, but this guy's mad as hell, and he's got to let us know about it. He was WWE champion for about a minute. And then, of course, we've got Naomi against Io Sky. That could be a big deal because Io Sky updated Rhea Ripley on the road to WrestleMania and messed up that whole match with your Elimination Chamber winner, Bianca Belair. But one of the matches, just a wild card, is Rusev going up against Sami Zayn. Now, I'll tell you this, it is weird that Rusev coming back to WWE in that character. He's been removed from that character when he was in AEW, and not everybody saw him do the best friends gimmick, but most of us all saw Miro. And maybe it's just hard putting the toothpaste back into the tube. All I know is that when I was watching wrestling, around WrestleMania 31, when Rusev came out in that tank, that was badass. And what we've seen from him on Monday Night Raw, having the match against Sheamus, those two guys just beating each other up. I know one thing, that feud is not over. And when I watch them, it's like watching WWE 2012, 2013 all over again. And I have some good feelings about that. But Rusev against anybody kind of in the new age to me is kind of weird. Sami Zayn being on this quest to find a way to being a World Heavyweight Champion in WWE and then being highlighted in a match against Rusev, I don't really get that. And when it all comes down to it, I mean, the one person that everybody is talking about in the world of wrestling is Karrion Kross. And I know some people out there might think that I'm only talking about Karrion Kross because it's like the hottest thing in wrestling as of right now. I remember watching his documentary from WrestleMania, and just how well that video was put together. And I don't think he was sitting at his computer editing that. He probably had an editor, he probably had a director going through that. But to see him interact with the fans and be kind of like a normal person, and how well he spoke, talking about what was going down with Bloodsport and how his contract was coming to an end. He just had a really good match with AJ. I really, really liked him. And then the fact he had a match at Night of Champions, then he had a match at SummerSlam.
I can't believe that they're letting him leave like that. It kind of reminds me a lot of when Rob Van Dam's contract came to an end in WWE. He had that Extreme Rules match against Randy Orton, and they had RVD win the match because so many people were saying that it was just too obvious that since Van Dam was leaving, he wouldn't win and Orton was going to get the win. And I don't know, man. It's just kind of crazy. You think of, Karrion Kross, you even think of Sami Zayn. They weren't featured on WrestleMania weekend. And then they're added to the SummerSlam card, which means like you're moving up in the world. I mean, not everybody. I mean, Damian Priest wasn't on SummerSlam. Aleister Black, who, just came from AEW, he wasn't on SummerSlam. Every pay-per-view, you can't have everybody on it. Even if it's a 2-day event, somebody's gonna find themselves left off. I mean, New Day, Legends, I don't even think they were booked on SummerSlam. They're doing the whole deal of, crying about the title being out. But I don't know where Karrion Kross goes from here. My gut feeling as of right now is that his contract just ended. And he said a lot of things on his video, talking about the after WrestleMania show with Sam Roberts, that it wasn't, it didn't go over as well as he thought he did. And people were really upset, and it's felt really weird backstage since then. I don't know, man. I think if Karrion Kross, like when he came out on SmackDown and he came to the ring with Scarlett, and Scarlett put that hourglass in the ring, and we really thought we were going to get Karrion Kross against Roman Reigns. I don't know if we ever got that match or not, but it really looked like Karrion Kross was going to the moon. And a lot of people always think of how good he was in NXT, but then they put him in that gladiator gimmick, and that just bombed bad. I don't know. I really, if you go through my videos, what I've said the most about Karrion Kross is that, like, when he was with AOP, they looked dominant. They really looked like nobody could beat them. And I mean, they had two huge guys. They had the best heel manager in the history of the game, minus WrestleMania 8 when he was holding that puppet with Legion of Doom. I still don't understand that. I think his name was Roscoe or something like that. And that's kind of the only reason why I really remember it. It was the fact that they're at WrestleMania and he's holding that thing. I'm sure they showed up on Superstars or All-American, holding it for a few times. Where that thing went, it needed to stay. And I'm glad that we've never seen that thing pop up yet once again. I mean, it was A, it was stupid. B, it was creepy. But Karrion Kross himself just looks larger than life. Like he just should be beating everybody. And he's got the hottest chick in the game, which is like putting down Scarlett a little bit. I mean, I remember when Scarlett was wrestling for, I guess it had to have been Impact. And she was just beating people. And I remember when that Canadian Destroyer took over the internet for a weekend. I'll never forget that when she was wrestling up in Canada. But Karrion Kross, man, if he's going to come back, he comes back tonight just to beat up Sami Zayn. But then again, he's like kind of stuck in the slot he's in. But then again, look at R-Truth. R-Truth got released. He came back. He wrestled the match against John Cena. And what the hell is he doing? Other than just standing around backstage. I'm not sure. I want everybody to get an opportunity. But when you have somebody on the roster just to say they're on the roster, what's the point? Because when it really comes down to it, if you're a fan of that wrestler, don't you want to see them like get into a place where they can succeed? Whether that's like AEW giving them a shot, find a way to get into Impact, maybe working for GCW. I mean, that's just crazy. Like, think about like if like we all wanted Brian Myers and Matt Cardona to get re-signed by WWE when they got released, just so they could keep doing the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, and they just didn't get to go on their run. Then we wouldn't have the System in TNA. Then we wouldn't have the Deathmatch King, Matt Cardona. We'd just be having like random Hawkins and Ryder matches. I don't know. I think we won in the long run with that. But no matter what, Karrion Kross is going to find a way to win. Whether if it's, I mean, like that dude can walk on the nightly news tonight. I mean, that guy just, I don't know how to say it without being weird, but that guy just looks right. I mean, he just looks nice. Like he just can fit himself into anything that he wants to. But for some reason, he wants to wrestle. He wants to beat people up. And he's going to find a place to do it. I'll tell you that much. Doesn't matter if it's like going to MLW or any of those W's that are out there. I guess I ended up talking more about Karrion Kross than I did about everything else. But I don't know. It seems like kind of a weird match for Monday Night